And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Howdy folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at an expansion for a game called Call to Adventure. Call to Adventure is a game in which you are going to be a hero or a villain. It's your choice, your call, and you're flipping runes and going through this, and it's a decent game, but it brings out this really fun storyline, and you get to kind of create your background story and why you became the hero or villain that you are today. Well, this is the first expansion for the game, Call to Adventure, The Name of the Wind. And this is based on the Name of the Wind, the book by Patrick Rothfuss. And this is a book that I've read, and I've read the sequel. And maybe in 20, 30 years, I'll read the third book if it ever gets written. But this is it's a fantasy story. It's high fantasy, maybe. I'm not sure what the terms for high and low fantasy are, actually. But it's actually a story in a story. You meet a guy who claims to be this famous person, and then he goes through and tells a story of himself. He's incredibly egotistical, but it is very well written, the book. Even though I found myself highly disliking the main character, I did enjoy the way the book was written. And for example, there's a very long chapter at one point where he's in an inn, just basically talking to people, and I found that to be really interesting reading. So it's pretty cool, and it does create its own world. So that world is now brought into Call to Adventure. Never heard of the books, never read the books, that's fine. You don't actually need to know that stuff to play this game, to play this expansion anyway. If you like the base game, this has more stuff added to it. There's a small twist, which I'll show you now. So these are all the components that are added in this expansion. Now, if you want to use this expansion, many of the cards in this expansion are going to replace those in the base game. So you look here in the rule book, and you're going to pull all these cards from the base game and then just replace them with everything in here. So one of the things that gets rid of the nature icon, and instead it will add a new music icon in the game that players can collect. And obviously there's going to be a lot of artwork and stuff. Note that there's some, I'd say, PG-13 style artwork in the game, but it all has to do with the Kingslayer novels, right? And the different things that are happening in there. And if you've read the books and stuff, you're going to recognize a lot of the things that happen here. And so these cards have various things on them. It's nothing that's too game-changing. The biggest game-changing thing here is the naming. So there's a board here with the Name of the Wind, the Name of Iron, and the Name of Fire. And on a player's turn, if you fail doing a challenge, you can attempt to discover the Name of Fire, the Name of Iron, or the Name of the Wind, your choice. So when you fail a challenge, you can attempt the name. When you do that, you're going to roll the normal runes only. You can add one if you have two icons. You need both of them. And so then you're rolling, you're trying to get a 4. This doesn't do anything for me, so that's not very good. However, in this game, there are different cards. For example, this card here, Lost Soul, +1 to your name attempts. Once per game, you can reveal this to re-attempt the name. Here, this one, I can't even learn the Name of Iron if I have this in place. And there are other cards in here, in particular, Command to Flame this turn, gain +1 to attempt the Name of Fire, the Name of Iron, the Name of the Wind. So there are cards that can help you. If you successfully do name it, you will get the icon that matches it, Iron, Wind, or Fire. These are worth 3 points at the end of the game, but they also allow you to automatically complete some challenges. So if I'm doing this challenge here, I can always slay a Dracus here at the bottom, or I can prevent a wildfire. At the top, I would need the normal successes that's shown there, or if I have fire, it's just an automatic success. Same thing with this one. If I have iron, this attempted binding is an automatic success. If I have winds, this Calm the Winds, obviously, is an automatic success. So that's pretty much what's in this expansion and what it adds. If you like Call to Adventure, you'll like this. That's basically it. I mean, that's easy enough. It just adds more stuff. The Name of the Wind and Fire and Iron, that's nice. It's kind of a extra prize to go for. When you fail in this game, it's not always the best thing in the world, but if you fail here, you get to try for one of those. They're not always easy to do. They're a little more lucky than I might like, although if you get the cards and stuff that allow you to manipulate that luck, they're pretty neat, and the rewards are fun. Not only are they 3 points, but they allow you to complete challenges for free in the future. Once you have the name of the wind, you're looking for any card with wind on it. You're like, yeah. Now, my one negative about this, the art, fantastic, storyline, blah, blah, blah. But I do not like that you have to pull out all those original cards. I wish there was an easier way to integrate these cards. I realize that you'll have a harder time and that the names aren't as useful when you don't do that. So if you just mix everything together, the name of fire, wind, and iron won't be nearly as useful to get. They'll be harder to get. They won't have as many things. And there's also a stronger dilution of the story. That being said, pulling out all those cards is a real pain in the neck. So you're going to end up just pulling them out, setting them aside, and just never playing with them again, and just sticking this expansion with and playing with that, or at least until the next expansion's released and you do that. So if you're going to do this, I think you're kind of going all in. You're going in Name of the Wind. You're going to have Call to Adventure, Name of the Wind. And then you'll have those other cards set aside, I guess, if you ever get bored with this. Or maybe you will mix them together, although I just can't see that being a good idea. So that's pretty much it. It adds more cards, more art, adds the names, which is neat, but comes with the minor negative thing of flipping everything in and out. So that's Name of the Wind expansion for Call to Adventure. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment approved.